live. So how do I?
live.
Okay, so I know, but how do I get it bigger? You said to go over to.
Right there.
Perfect. All right. Hi, I'm Morningstar. Join me on this journey if you'd like. 私がてやブースブロとし、えたの、私がてやた、あやしかてやた、あや。それでしかてや、しかてやな、やと。So te shika te ano te avo o shia te e awa. O to shika te amaha. E ano, shika te ataha. O te shika te ato, to shika te e apa sodo te shika te. Yo to shika te ata io payateta. So whether you're watching this now or later, the power is still the same. Let's just breathe for a minute. I didn't check my volume, didn't check the lights. It's okay. I don't own the rights to this music. So the shikate muta ya tai shikate e atato do shikate. Grandmother is saying go, and I'm like, I am like just getting lit. I'm like, no, I want to stay here forever. I don't own the rights to that music. It's Peter Cater. Check him out. Pretty freaking awesome. Okay, so update. So I got some cancer removed from my arm. I've got a huge, probably a scar like that with stitches. They had to go all the way down to the freaking fat on the bone. Thank God it was just basil or whatever that is. But anyway, it took 4 hours. Anyway, I've been recouping from that. Kind of kicked me on my butt a little bit, but I'm okay, recouping. So I was laying over on my lounging bed thing, and I'm like, I haven't heard a message from them recently. And they were like, did you give the last one you got? I'm like, no. So I'm on here to give the last message. Man, it just feels pretty stinking good right now. I could just literally, this is heaven on earth right here. This bliss, this, it's like, no, I don't really want to do anything else. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to just sit right here in this bliss. To enter into the kingdom, you have to become like a child. Hearts of faith, childlike trust. I don't care how old you are. I'm almost 60. Still, every day, like a child. And when you enter in like a child, what happens? You are leaving garments behind. You are leaving angst, anxiety, past trauma, all of it. And it's just like you're shaking it off and breathe, quieting your spirit down. And it's like they send these beautiful spiritual fingers into your heart. Soften it, tenderize it. I'm still getting settled with the energies. Because what I have to talk about is kind of serious. It's just what it is. No amount of money can buy that state of bliss. Whether you're out in the woods by yourself or just sitting quietly in your home. And when you reach that state of bliss, and you know what? It's free. It's free. My heart is melting. Archangels, love and light. This will only cleanse us of our arc field. Oh, God. Tapping into God's first energy. You know, they're recorded saints of old. So many. I have a book over there, and it's like miracles of saints from like the 1400s and 1500s of, and a lot of it is, you know, like I'm not Catholic, but a lot of it is nuns or priests or different ones and different monks and stuff, and in their worship time, in their state, they would tap into the ecstasy. And they could bilocate. Many of them, they lifted off the ground. They levitated in the state of ecstasy and bliss. And White Wolf and I were having a discussion, and I'm like, when you don't have, we've been so programmed, right? TV, radio, all of it, right? All of it. Programming. But back then, what did they have? Maybe a book, maybe candle, maybe some bells, nature, songs, chants. They didn't have the distractions that we have today. Maybe that's why they were able to tap into the energies that some of us are already starting to tap into. I haven't levitated yet. I think it's coming. Spiritually, I can go in and check on my children. I do. Spiritually, I can go and do this or do that. I can. And I'm sure most of you, all of you can too. But what if you bilocate? What if you just a day in ecstasy? And you don't even know it, but you might be lifted off the ground. And that state of divine bliss, that state of divine love, you can't pay $1 million gazillion for that if you're trying to buy it. Just you, God's source energy, the great I am, the archangels, and then on up to what? The ascended masters, the galactic council. I get to stop talking right now. I mean, it's good. Life is good. Life is good. So, a couple of people have commented on my name. You know, like Morningstar. That's Satan. That's the devil. It's like, well, no, I'm not. I was given that name after a conference. Incredible, incredible spiritual journey with a group of people, and so much freedom, so much liberation of spirit. I wanted to be called Dawn Treader. But on the day of graduation, as we walked through this portal out in the middle of this resort, you know, and we each one, when we were ready to step through the portal, you know, graduation day, right? That was the name that was gifted to me. So in the Lakota, oh God, I don't even have it down. I don't have my phone. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. If you in any way sense that I am in any way connected to that entity, then I'm sorry that I'm not showing my heart. I'm not showing my essence. I digress about that. I don't give a shit. Some of you, if you've never watched me, I have studied under shamans. I am a licensed pastor. Pranic healing training. Life. Master intuitive. Gifting since I was a small child. It's okay. All right, enough of that. All right, okay, so the last time I was on here, I was talking about the church and the light workers, okay? And I don't remember which hand was which, but it doesn't matter. You know, they're total polar opposites on the same line, polar opposites. There is a line drawn in between. Now, with every move of the spirit in organized religion, what would happen? God's source energy would show up on the scene and a new thing was birthed. A new thing. I used to know all of the, you know, Martin Luther and all the different ones, and it was a new thing. And then what happened was that new movement, man wanted to cap it, put a box on it, and then it was like, we've reached enlightenment. We've reached. It's not them. We've done it. And then what happens? God's source energy, and their infinite wisdom and still wanting to perpetuate the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, out upon the face of the earth, right? Go and multiply, right? Would move on another group of people. And then this organization got built. And then this one. And then what happened? Man after man after man. They put a ceiling on it. And the prophetic ministry that I sat under in church life, I remember that person talking about he had missed the move, the new move. It was during the time in the 70s when a lot of, Woodstock and a lot of hippies were getting enlightened. They didn't know where to go. They didn't know what to do. So here's these like wild things, right? Love them. Just showing up, right? An organized church, right? Coming in, sitting on the floor, full of love, full of like, peace, enlightenment, right? And organized churches, organized religion had no clue what to do with them. It's programming. That ideology is programming. It's programming. They gotta, we're gonna get that one. Oh, that one got saved, and then you reel them in. And so here's what's wrong with you. Here's what you're doing wrong. Here's what you're doing here. Sign up for this. Do 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 this. And then maybe whatever. I digress. But here's the clue. Here's the deal. So the other night, I got to take a drink. Sorry. I might even light a cigarette on this one. So, and I had talked on the last one that as a small child, being at the age of 5, my parent, I grew up in church life, and my parents, I'd be, praying or whatever, or just, and I would see Jesus, Yahshua, at the door, holding it open into blue light sky, saying, "Come out." And that vision happened time and time and time again in my life. Well, back in 2000 and probably 9. I don't have to go in all of that. Anyway, I crossed over. I did. He said cross over. He's like, I don't need you there. I need you here. So I did. Got checked off, name through, got to write that one off. No, man, she's gone to the dark side. She's gone to the, no, not her. No. And they always bring up, of course, the Jezebel spirit thing. I don't know. Some of you might not even know what the hell I'm talking about. It's okay. That's what it is in church life. It's all right. I'm like cigarette. And this is probably why they call me out, because I cuss like a sailor. And I like to smoke a cigarette. So I'm playful, and I'm being playful with this, because this is how God is. This is how God's source energy is. Unless you become like a child, you won't inherit the kingdom. What's the kingdom? Light, peace, joy, all the fruits of the Spirit. Having a heart, a light set on fire with, it's not even optimism. It's just being blessed with so much love. You can't contain it. It's so much grace. You can't contain it. Sorry. So there was this one prophet who, back in that life, there was like 2,000 people in attendance that day. And there were missionaries there from all over the world, China, all over the place. And so this prophet, who was very recognized, very, like, in Texas, companies would hire him to come in and, whatever. This guy was the guy. This guy was a prophet. Okay. So here I am sitting on the back row, 7 months pregnant with my first child. This one back here, right, calls me up. I stand up, gives me this incredible prophetic word over me, over the child I'm carrying, had prophetic words for the husband that I had at that time, my children's father. Right? So I followed him for a few years. And he had some really incredible supernatural things that happened. He would be in a service, and he would start talking about the light, the great I am in the light, right? The light, whether you want to call it God's Spirit, the Holy Spirit, Yahshua, just the light, right? The radiating light. So what happened? All of these beautiful, beautiful, bright colored orbs started flying all over the top of everyone in attendance, right? And this happened in a church in England, right? Then a light bar with beautiful violet light with almost like a blue star in between it came across the top of the audience and moved. People were falling out of their seats. There was so much love, the shock and awe and wonder. And not only did it happen that night in a meeting, it happened the next day, right? So I was telling White Wolf about this person and their ministry as such, and what they did and what happened in their ministry. So the same person was on one of those TV kind of shows and was talking about when they got. I hope you're enjoying this. If not, turn it off. But it's okay, because I love the supernatural. I love miracles. I want to see the supernatural at everything. I want to do it. I want to see it. Okay, have supernatural things happen in my life? Yes. Have I seen balls of light floating down my bedroom hall with small babies, all the children are asleep, and a light's coming down the hall, right? It's an orb about this big. It was golden. Comes over the top of the bed. Sits there, so over the top of the bed. I'm watching. The whole room is lit up. The ex-husband's sleeping next door. He's a Marine Corps drill instructor. This ball of light explodes into a million gazillion lights being all over the room, lit up like a firecracker. So I've had things like that again and again and again. I went and checked on my first toddler, my first baby. And I don't know, as a mother, some of you might not be parents, but you wake up in a panic in the middle of the night, first child, you're like, oh my God, I've got to go check. I don't know if it's her, whatever. And it's like, oh, I've got to go lay hands. I got to go see if the baby's breathing, right? You go in, it's like, lay your hand on the baby. It's like, okay, fine. Then you can go back to sleep, right? 3 months, I don't know how long it was. One night I opened up that door to check on my child, my eldest child. Guess what? The whole room was filled with beautiful, bright, orange, green, purple orbs from pinpointed size to about that size. And they were just floating all over the room. And I stood there and I took my hand and I went like this, and it was like they were playing with me. Right? And then I think I said in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I must just be imagining this. And then it left. So the next day I woke up and I was excited. So I told the ex about it, and being of a military person with that whole persona. Yeah, you got to show me. Nah, I don't believe it. Now, whatever. It's probably just a dream, right? So, okay, lo and behold, next child is born. Same thing, as parent, I'd wake up, gotta go see if the baby's breathing. Okay, and I go back to sleep, right? So I don't know how many months it was. I don't know. Same one night, I open up the door and they're back. And all of those beautiful orbs, purple, orange, lime green, yellow, just beautiful. And I took my hand and I went and I woke that son of a bitch up. And I said, they're back. So he gets up, he's standing there in shock and dismay. He takes his hand and he's going like, and then he's like checking out the window. How can this light from the street coming in from a closed old blind, right, where you pull it down and it locks into place, and so anyway, so many supernatural things have happened. So many supernatural things have happened. Yeah. All right. So back to my story. So this prophet, one night in bed, fully awake, gets lifted up through his ceiling, sees his body still, right? Gets lifted up, is taken before the throne of the great I am. I've been there. So can you. You can go there. You can. This is what the great I am spoke to that prophet. And she said, it said, I long to release the anointing, the supernatural gifts to the children. But because of the adoration and I think that's the word, the adoration that will come. If your heart isn't right, if you haven't done your homework, this is me adding to it. If you haven't done the 3D stuff, if you haven't come against, if you haven't done that stuff, you're going to you'll get spun out. It will actually destroy you. And because of the spiritual laws that are in effect for that, they'd have to. They'd have to. Now, that man died of cancer before the age of 60, I think. I was thinking about that. Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm effing nobody. I'm just, mom from the Midwest, raised 3 kids, always had a gifting, blah, 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 blah. Who the fuck cares, right? Who cares? Whatever. Where was I going? Oh. Okay, so grandmother's wanting me to talk about. So when I was first wanting to go before the throne, I would see these big, like 12 and 14 foot doors, and I would knock, and I'm like, I try to pull them open, and I couldn't. I knew if I could just get on the other side of that door, man, I would come face to face with the divine. Face to face with the divine. I knew it. And through a process, I would cry. I would beg. I would pound. And I would beg, and I would be like, let me in. 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 So one day, I was sitting on the steps outside those 2 doors. I was stopping the process. It was my own lack of faith that I could stand in the I am presence, to know that there's grace, to know that I've already been qualified, to know that I already have the anointing, that I, as a child of the great I am. Ross spoke to me one day, came down from his throne, saw him rising up on a pedestal. This was probably back in 2012. Took me into his arms and said, do you remember when we placed the sun in the heavens? And I was like, oh my God, what the heck? What? What? It was me. It was me stopping till the day came. I went before the throne. Church life, oh, you'll be struck down instantly if you look upon the face of God. You will. That's what they said. That's what they taught us. You will. You will. You will. No man can live and see God. No man. Not in our flesh, but in our spirit. And in through that open pathway, open path, open gateway. If you're there to steal, rob, and destroy, if you draw from the darkness, you're not going to get to go there. You won't. You won't. You're going to be sidetracked off. Matter of fact, if that's what you're doing and you're drawing from the dark side, good luck. Have fun with that. Okay? Okay? Ate shikoteana. We're in the 3D. We're learning by grace in states of bliss. And I don't care what words you want to use, offering up in humility, just standing naked spiritually before that throne. And they say, what? Come on in. Welcome. Hi. Long time no see. We know you. We have our hand on you. We have great things in store for you. As children of the light, we're blessed. Because you know what Yahshua did? You know what God's first energy and his infinite wisdom did? Here you go. The church, they capped it. They capped it. They only reached highest worship, highest in their highest worship. They don't, that's it. Otherwise, it's indoctrination. It's indoctrination. Okay? Yahshua says, my sheep hear my voice. Back to the child when I was 5, holding the door open to come out of the church. Blue sky out here. Now I know that God's source energy and the great I am has light workers in every faith, every belief system all over the earth, because they're playing their part. They're doing what they signed up to do here in that realm. They might be this, they might be that. That's okay. No judgment. No judgment. No judgment. But you know what's great about the great I am? They're always about the new. Bringing in something new. Bringing in something new, fresh. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to light some sage. I've got a couple more things to share on that. I'm going to raise up the energy a little bit. Otoshika, we're talking a very serious talk here. Otoshikotea na ate ishikatea tata. Ishikotea na ata ata. Ishikatea pa. We have archangels. We all have our spiritual guides. We are all waking up, and they come to us through different things, different whatever. It's okay. Hi, Slight. Hi, Slow. Hi, Slight. Hi, Slow. Hi, Slight. Hi, Slow. Hi, Slight. Breathe. Hi, Slow. Now, so maybe, just maybe, God source energy in the great I am saw this. It's okay. It's for a reason. It's for a purpose. It didn't stop there. They don't stop. It's always a new thing. New thing, right? So guess what happens? Light workers. We've come on the scene. We've got hearts of courage. We've got hearts of champions. We move in supernatural words, whether you're a psychic, whether you have all of these different clairs, right? All of it, you smell it, you see it, you hear it. You've got giftings. You've had them since you were a baby, a child. You want to use them. Yeah, that's what we're here for. It's glorious. They didn't stop there. They said, and spoke to my heart and said, hey, guess what? Hi. Welcome. 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 They're after our hearts. They are. Reprogramming, change. A lot of stuff has to happen for us to stay in that 5D. We're morphing. We're changing. I don't know everything there is to know. Not one of us knows everything there is to know. Now, are there great teachers? Hell yes. You got Matt Kahn. You got Bentinho Massero. You got these different ones, right? Alicia Powers. All right, different ones. And there's others. There's many others. But that's what's so great about the light workers, is that we are a community. That I can meet somebody from another country, and within, all I have to do is lay eyes on them, like, I know you, I love you. Oh my God, you're family. Don't you love that? Don't you love that about us? Don't you? Don't you? I do. I do. Okay. So Archangel Michael just I'm gonna turn some music up. I hope this blessed you. Share it out. There's some beautiful lavender light energy coming in. Thank you, Saint Germain and Mother Mary. Thank you. Kundalini ato ishikatea. Sodea tabo shikatea ta ishikatea. blue starlight energy, rainbow. There's like palm fronds, just kind of. I say a prayer for you. If you were in that storm path, I pray for that area to be restored and healed. I pray that hearts are released. If you're going through a hard time right now, seek help, seek counsel, get help. Get help. It's okay. Otoshikate atayana ya la 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 bosoro toshikate anaya. Whoa. Phoenix. Whoa. Just breathe that energy and let it go all the way down to your feet and ground that into the earth and then back up. Thank you. It's Morningstar. Peace out. Love you guys. I don't know how to get off this screen now. Oh, there I go.